Hello ladies and gentlemen, what is up, Force here, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about Overwatch. I've been doing a lot of gameplay videos for this, but they've mostly been stream cuts, and I wanted to actually sit down and talk about the game a little bit. And specifically here in today's video, I'd like to talk about, I guess we'll just call it hero balance, or the notion of something being overpowered. Now, I think one of the very cool things that somehow Blizzard's managed to do in this game is make pretty much every single hero feel overpowered in some capacity. There are certain heroes that are very good at specific things. We've got, for example, Bastion. When it comes up to a turtling in defense of any B point, he feels incredibly overpowered. Or let's take, for example, Reinhardt when it comes to a tank in a pushing position. If you are trying to advance your team, Reinhardt, as well as Winston to a degree, but Reinhardt in particular feels like a very strong pushing tank. Or then there's Mercy, an incredibly great support that has the Resurrection, which is probably the best support ultimate, as well as the damage boost and that steady stream of heals. So just a few examples of characters that in specific situations feel pretty powerful. But then you've got the characters who just feel powerful in practically every situation. And of course, here in the background, you're seeing the one that I like to point out today, and that is Mccree. This hero feels a little bit overtuned. Now, we're in beta. It just started. It's closed beta. There's an incredibly small pool of people even playing the game right now. In fact, this morning, I was playing a few rounds, and I left, and I came back after 20 minutes, and I ended up getting into the same group of people. So I really only think there was like 4 or 5 groups of people playing at the time. It's kind of crazy. It's a small pool, so talking balance at this point isn't that big of a thing, because we really haven't gotten to see the total strength of these heroes played out by people who are really amazingly good at them. Yes, we've got some good players, but as you know, the larger the player base gets, the higher the skill cap tends to get pushed, because you get more, you understand how it works. But right now, I have to say Mccree feels a little strong. Now, I at times, all right, I would call myself an above average player. I would not call myself an amazing player. I would certainly not call myself a professional player. I can have quite a bit of potato aim if I'm not focusing. But even if I have the slightest bit of focus, I tend to tear it up on Mccree. And, there's other heroes that I could do pretty well as well. But Mccree in particular, I think the biggest thing with him is that he's effective at close range, thanks to his fanning of his weapon, the roll, the refan, and of course the flashbang. Usually a flashbang in a single round will kill many heroes, except for the tanks. You're going to have to do a couple of rolls and stuff, but the tanks aren't going to one-shot you anyway, so a lot of times you can even take them out fairly effectively. He's also incredibly effective at medium to long range. If you have the slightest bit of aim, and I've actually recently started playing around with turning down the sensitivity, as suggested by people while I was streaming. They said, you're missing a lot of these shots, why don't you try tuning the sensitivity down? And I've been doing that, and it makes a humongous difference. Now, that might seem obvious to a lot of FPS players, but I'm just more of a gamer in general. I'm not someone who's just a hardcore FPS player, so there's these subtle nuances that I might not necessarily know, and this was one of them that I had sort of forgotten. And as soon as I turned down that sensitivity, I was hitting a lot of shots. In fact, there are numerous situations in which I would be out-sniping the game's snipers. And of course, by the snipers, we're referring to Widowmaker and Hanzo. As Mccree, you can literally headshot them from across the map. Now, they should technically have a better time of it, specifically Widowmaker with the zoomed up aiming. And Widowmaker, truthfully, I believe with a fully powered shot, she doesn't even need a headshot you. She'll just one-shot you with a full powered shot. I think that's the case. If they aren't on point, you can literally still outsnipe them. It's absolutely insane. He is just, I've been having a great time with him, I could say that. And he's also frustrating to play against. He's one of those heroes that in the current metagame is feeling incredibly strong, possibly overtuned, possibly something that Blizzard is going to have to address. But as I mentioned at the top of this video, there are many heroes that in their own specific way feel incredibly strong. Junkrat feels like he is very strong if played in the proper hands. Tracer is similar, although Tracer certainly has strong, hard counters. In fact, hilariously enough, one of them is Mccree. In certain situations, Reaper is incredibly strong. In that medium to short range situation, he can just unload those shots non-stop with 8 rounds to the clip, or I guess 4 each gun if you want to be specific. Pharah, I mean, like, all of the heroes, I would say with the one exception, for me personally, I am not particularly blown away by Symmetra. Maybe it's just because I don't know how to properly play her yet, and I know her biggest strength, of course, is that teleporter, that she can really, really help her team, especially, well, I guess either way, if you're attacking or defending, to get back to that prime point. That teleporter, very strong. The turrets can also be a bit of a nuisance. They don't really tend to get kills, but if a weak hero turns the corner into a turret, and then what you can do is, of course, strategically place it in a position where they're going to be going, where, you know, there's heal packs, for example. It can do pretty well. But I would say, out of all of the heroes, I am the least impressed by Symmetra, but everyone else has their really strong points, their really great situations. I haven't even mentioned Roadhog. He's literally like a DPS tank. He's got amazing self-heal, and with a hook, a shot to the face, and a melee attack, you're gonna kill most heroes if you land that hook. It's kind of crazy. But man, oh man, I guess I just wanted to give some of my thoughts on the heroes. And this video isn't so much, even though we're focusing on Mccree, we're showing Mccree gameplay. This video isn't necessarily as much about, hey, Mccree's feeling pretty strong, as it is, this game's been really fun, and a lot of the heroes feel really, really strong, except for me, Symmetra. But yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be some people out there that say, you're an idiot, Symmetra's the best because of this, this, and this. If that's been your experience with her, fantastic. I just haven't had that yet. Maybe with a bit more practice, a bit more time, I'm gonna see where she really shines as well, besides just having a teleporter at her disposal. But guys, I'd love to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Besides Mccree, who we pointed out here, are there any heroes currently in the closed beta that you're feeling at the moment are a bit overtuned in the meta? Do you agree with my sort of analysis of Mccree's incredible strengths, or is there someone else you'd like to point out and bring to my attention? All right, friends, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned, more Overwatch and other great gaming content coming up here on the channel. Take it easy.
Let's get a move.